What's going on, everybody? My name is Chris. Welcome back to the Moto Outsider. Unfortunately, my usual co-host Matt could not be here with me today, but I felt the story needed to be talked about right away. If you didn't hear the news already, Chase Sexton announced a few hours ago on his Instagram that he will not be racing this weekend. That's all I can really think about because the 450 class right now is completely depleted. It's crazy how many guys are out. According to the Honda press release, Chase had a practice crash this Tuesday while testing with his team at Fox Raceway. Yes, the track that he got second overall at this past weekend, which is super disappointing because he was riding really well. He was looking really good. He almost passed Jett in the second moto of that race. It's just life, I guess, right? This stuff happens. This is what we've been seeing all season from the Supercross series. Guys getting hurt, guys getting injured, crashes, dumb mistakes, just everything we've had all thrown at us. We lost at least 15 of the big top 450 guys. I mean, I feel like this hasn't been seen in a long time, and I'm not one of those guys that blame the bikes, but I do think that we could look at the tracks and maybe do some things a little bit differently, but that's another conversation for another time. According to the press release, he hit his head and has a concussion, and he also was diagnosed with mono. If you know anything about mono is a little bit rough in your body. Your kidney and your liver can get swollen up, and there's other things that can happen that kind of prevent you from being able to be physical and do any other activities. So, in my opinion, although Chase said that he needs only a few days to get to 100%, I don't see Chase lining up anytime soon. Concussions and illnesses. At this point, it makes you wonder if it's even worth coming back because you're already throwing away a ton of points. Obviously, him and the team have assessed the situation and they're making the move that they think is best for Chase and his health. But why rush the comeback? Again, I don't see it happening anytime soon. I think you get 100% healthy. I mean, if you look at Dylan Ferrandis, he didn't fully recover from his injury in Houston, came back to Daytona. His eyesight wasn't 100%, and he crashed super hard, had to take another 2 months off to get back into riding and everything. So if I'm Chase, I'm taking all the time I need, get back, get ready when you're ready to go. Don't rush this thing. Don't get hurt anymore because you're so young and you have such a long career ahead of you. Why ruin it? Why make it worse? And why not fully recover? We could see him come back at some later nationals. So at this point, I hope he gets healthy and I hope he heals up because I don't want to see him get hurt anymore. I feel like it's pretty ironic that he crashed at Fox Raceway testing on Tuesday when he had a really big crash in qualifying on Saturday at Fox Raceway. And some would say that's kind of the reason he didn't push a little bit harder in the first moto or had a little bit of trouble getting into groove, mostly because he just couldn't. I mean, he was a little bit nervous to crash again or for something to happen to him or his bike. So he didn't push super hard, but he still came up for second place and he got back in his groove. The injury kind of shook him up a little bit and he didn't want to get hurt anymore or have another crash like that. And this kind of ties back to the whole Supercross season, right at the beginning. Was riding really well, fastest guy. I think he had 13 of the 17 fastest qualifying awards, which is really impressive, but he had a ton of crashes too. He did end up figuring it out at the end of the season. Obviously, he was the champion. He won the title, but unfortunately, these crashes seem to be back. He seems like he can't stay off the ground. Makes you wonder if it's Jett kind of getting in his head, knowing he's got to step it up a little bit more if he wants to beat him. It was also really interesting that someone put on Instagram this week. I don't remember where I saw it, but Jett went out and beat the guy that he's replacing this year on the factory Honda team. So that's got to mess with Chase a little bit. I'm sure things are a little bit weird under the truck just because those guys are so competitive, and it's going to make for a really good series. Well, it was going to make for a really good series. Now we just have Jett. And we have five other guys in the class that I think could possibly win if they got the right start and had the right cards fall in their favor. But in my opinion, Jett could go undefeated. It's really not out of the cards. Jett's been riding so well. He clearly proved he can get starts on the metal grade. He's got his bike figured out. He rides and looks like he's not really trying. He just lugs the bike around the track. And you can see it on TV. You can see it in person. He's really smooth on the throttle, and it's really impressive to watch. So in my opinion, no one's really going to beat Jett. Maybe Dylan. I think Dylan Ferrandis could come back. He's your 2021 450 motocross champion. He's proven that he has the speed, but he didn't have the endurance last weekend. In the second moto of the 450 race, he was exhausted on the podium. He was just beat. He even admitted it that he had to give all that he had for him to hold off Plessinger. So, yeah, the 450 class doesn't look super fun, but those privateer guys got to be getting their teeth and rubbing their hands together because there's going to be some guys that haven't made top 10s getting top 10s, some top 20 guys who haven't even been close to the top 10 getting real close or maybe even getting close to that top 5. So, look for Grant Harlan, Jerry Robin, Kyle Chisholm, Freddie Noren. There's a lot of guys who could come up and do really well this weekend and also the rest of the season. We're still waiting on Justin Barsha and Jason Anderson to come back. We don't have exact time frames on that. Benny Bloss as well. So at this point, we kind of got to wait it out a little bit and see. I don't see Malcolm Stewart coming back till the way later part of the series. Eli Tomac's done for the season. So yeah, at this point, we kind of just wait it out and see what happens. I do think Barsha will be the first one back. Christian Craig could be back in the next few races too. So we need to get more diversity in the class. We need more of these guys to come back and race because I do think Jett's going to run away with this. Hopefully not. But that makes the 250 class a little more exciting and fun to watch. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a video coming up soon. But if you watched the race last weekend, you saw Hunter Lawrence get a bad start in the first moto and only be able to work up to third. Hayden Egan crashed and got up to sixth place, but got second in the second moto for second overall. Max Folan, Tom Viel, all the star Yamaha guys with Kitchen, Cooper, Justin Cooper, Guillaume Perez. There's so many guys right now that are super fast. Carson Mumford, Joe Shimoda. There's a lot of people that could literally win the 250 class. Probably 15 guys that could go out and win that race, especially at Hangtown this weekend. We saw Michael Moselman win the first moto here last year, then DNF the second moto. So there's so much parity in the 250 class, and it's going to make it really exciting. And I think this is going to be the class to watch. So that's all. Just want to fill you guys in on Chase Sexton. Like I said, I don't think he's gonna be back for a few weeks, if not a couple months. But that's my opinion. I'm not close to him. I don't know the situation, but I don't see a reason to rush back when there's no real benefit. The title's off the line at this point. Get healthy and come back healthy, and have a long career and finish out the season strong. So I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. Let me know who you think is going to win the 250 class this weekend. Really appreciate that. Please leave a like and a comment and subscribe if you guys could as well. It means a lot to us. And we're going to keep making more videos. We've just been a little bit busy the past few months, but we're trying to work this out so we can upload a video or two a week minimum. We want to do more. So the Moto Outsider is not going anywhere. We might have some little delays and breaks here and there, but we're going to be here for a long time. So get used to us. Hopefully Matt will be here next time as well. Hope he's having a good trip. And that's about it, guys. So thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.